Welcome back. I just came with one more video, guys. This is the continuation of my previous video. In my previous video we discussed about how to configure the LAN and how to enable the DHCP and how to enable the DNS. So this is what we saw it, and we are very much clear. So especially if you have a small deployment, if you don't want to create a multiple subnets, then we just configure a single subnet, and you can just configure enable the DHCP and DNS as per your requirement. So that's what you are going to do it. But in this video I'm going to focus it on how to configure multiple VLANs or multiple subnets as per your requirement. And you guys can see here as per our topology, guys. So already in my previous video, the port number 4 we are connecting to the internet. So this is my ISP, and remaining 3 ports are there. So these 3 ports that I am planning to use it. In my previous video what I did, I just use it as a LAN, but now these are the LAN ports, guys, and this is your WAN port. So now my concern is that I want to use port number 1. Okay guys, port number 1 I want to connect for different purpose. Port number 2 I want to use it for different purpose. Port number 3 I want to use it for different purpose. So this concept we can call it as a port based VLAN. So which means each and every port you can keep it into different VLAN or different subnet. So that's what you are going to do, guys. So for example, port number 1, what I am going to do now, I just configure it for 192.168. Let's say 11.1. Okay, that's the subnet that I am planning to use, and this is /24. The subnet is 11.0. And port number 2 I am going to configure it 192.168.12.0/24, and 12.1 is the IP. And port number 3 I am going to give 192.168.13.0/24, and 13.1 is the IP address. So here what I am trying to do here, let's say the port number 1 I want to use it for 11 subnet, and this is for my internal network, let's assume. So all my internal stuff or belongs to this. And port number 2 I'm going to use the different subnet, which is 192.168.12.0, and 12.1 is the IP address. Maybe this one I'm going to use it for my management. So all my management stuff will be in this network. And 13 network I'm going to use it for my guest. So this is what I'm trying to do, guys. Why? Because as per my requirement, as per my company policy, I want to segregate my network, so that port number 1 I will use it for my internal staff. Port number 2 I am going to use it for my management staff, and also I'm going to keep my servers, my management device like a PABX, and my NVRs or my door access control, my time attendance, all these devices that I'm going to keep it in my management network. And my guest staff, so whoever comes as a guest in my office, they will be part of this network. Hope you guys are clear, guys. So now I'm going to show it to you how to do this. So this is, we can call it as a port based VLAN. But again here I want to show you something. So right now, where you are going to connect this port number 1? That's what the question for everybody, guys. Where you connected port number 2? Where you connected port number 3? So there is a 2 scenarios, guys. So the first scenario is that if you have a manageable switch, let's say in the DrayTek we have a manageable switch. So you can connect this 3 interface directly into manageable switch. Okay guys, see here. So after connecting these 3 interfaces, then in the DrayTek you can create 3 different VLANs. So right now I'm going to create VLAN 11 and VLAN 12 and VLAN 32. So I created 3 VLANs inside my DrayTek switch. Then for VLAN 11, I just configured the subnet is 192.168.11.0/24. Then where in my DrayTek router. And for 12, 192.168.12.0/24. For 13, 192.168.13.0/24. Now this interface guys, this interface for port number 1, because you already created 3 VLANs inside your DrayTek router, DrayTek switch, I'm sorry, and you can keep this port number 1 into VLAN number 11. So this port is belongs to VLAN number 11. Now in my another router, another port, which means the port number 2, then this port you can keep it into VLAN number 12. And the third port you can keep it into VLAN number 13. So each port, what you are doing, you are keeping into the 3 different VLANs. So here port number 1, which is going to serve the purpose for your VLAN number 11, port number 2, which is going to serve the purpose for VLAN number 12, and port number 3 for VLAN number 13. So again I am going to repeat it for you guys. You need to create 3 different VLANs inside your DrayTek switch. That is VLAN number 11, VLAN number 12 and VLAN number 13. Then after that you can assign port number 1 into VLAN number 11, port number 2 into VLAN number 12, port number 3 into VLAN number 13. And already you configured these subnets inside your DrayTek router, and also you enable the DHCP. That's your first step guys. The second step is that let's say we are going to connect some end devices, correct? So let's say this is the PC, he belongs to your local staff. So as per our topology, VLAN number 11, that's your internal staff, right? So this port you can shift into VLAN number 11. Let's say one manager has connected his computer. So this is belongs to port number 2. So you can keep this guy into VLAN number 12. So that he belongs to port number 2 and VLAN number 12. So that he is going to get the IP address from VLAN number 12. And again, if any guest comes to your office with his laptop or with his desktop or something, in case if you are giving the wired connection, let's say the guest also connected with wired, and you can keep this port into VLAN number 13. So that he is going to get the IP address from the guest network. So this is what you are going to do guys. Let's don't confuse here. The concern is that you are going to take a network switch here. So this is my network switch. Okay, and port number 1 is connected directly, port number 2 is connected directly, port number 3 is connected directly. So the first step, you need to configure 3 VLANs. So VLAN number 11, VLAN number 12, VLAN number 13. Alright, so these 3 VLANs you need to configure it here in your switch. That's your first step. Then second step is that shift the ports. Port number 1, for example, if you connected somewhere on your switch, let's say I have connected on port number 1, I connected on port number 1 in the switch also. So this port you can shift into VLAN number 11. And here port number 2 I have connected into port P2 from the router. So this is you can shift into VLAN number 12. Port number 3, which is connected on port number 3 in the switch, so that this port I am going to shift into VLAN number 13. That's it guys. Okay, then after that, if you connect some end user devices, these are my device PC1, PC2. Okay guys, don't get confused. Let's say PC1 belongs to my internal staff, so that this one I am going to shift, this port I am going to shift into VLAN number 11. In case if this PC2 belongs to my manager, and this port, this is your, let's say, port number 5, port number 6, and this port I am going to shift into VLAN number 12. So if any guest comes, I am going to keep it into VLAN number 13. So this is what you need to play for it guys. So here the overview is that each and every port that I am going to keep into the different VLAN. So that is called port based. Okay guys, so this is what I am going to show it to you now. Let's go and do that. So whenever you are going to do any configurations guys, it's always important what you are trying to achieve. What is the outcome? So you can design yourself the topology first, then after that you can go for the configuration. In case if you are not designed, if you are not prepared, then you are going to end up with lot of issues. That's why it's always recommends that before you are going to do any configurations, you can just draw your topology and understand it, Once you convince yourself, then after that you can proceed for the configurations. Okay, let's move to my DrayTek router. So let's log in now. The username is admin, password is admin. So as per my previous topology guys, what I did, I just configured a single subnet, right? You see here, I have configured a single subnet here. But right now I want to change my plan. So either you can just reset the device, you can do that, or else you just go here and click on the VLAN. So I'll make it little bit size increase guys. Yeah, go to the VLAN. Then after that you just click enable it. Okay. Now you guys can see here, and one more thing guys, try to understand this. Go to the general setup, and by default you see here some subnets is already configured. But this area, whenever you see this area guys, this is not activated. See guys, this area is not activated. See here. Okay, LAN 2, LAN 3, LAN 4. Because this area why it's not activated, we need to go to the VLAN and click on enable. So now port number 1, I just want to use it for LAN 1. And port number 2, I want to use it for LAN 2. Port number 3, I want to use it for LAN 3. That's it. And what about this SSID 1, SSID 2 and all? That we will discuss about in my next session guys. So I am going to keep it this all SSIDs into the same subnet which is LAN 1. Hope you guys are clear what I'm trying to talk guys. So this is the place where most of the people they are going to get confused. So keep in your mind port number 1 I kept into the LAN 1 subnet which is already configured 10, and port number 2 192.168.2 is configured but I am going to change as a 12, and port number 3 and it's we are going to configure it as a 192.168.13. So this is as per my lab topology guys. Okay. So this is what how you are going to check these tick boxes. Then after that you can click OK. Then you can say OK. Then click OK. So it's going to reboot now. It's going to take bit time. Then after that it will come back guys. So in between if you want to do something, just you can just open the command prompt. Anyway my PC is connected on port number 1, and let's go and type it here, ping -t 192.168.10.1. So it's rebooting now. Meanwhile I'm going to pause this video. Alright guys, it's come back. Just refresh it. So you'll come back again, type the username admin, password is admin, say login. Then click OK now. You can guys see here now, go to the LAN, click on general setup. You can see here now LAN 2 and LAN 3 is activated, which means it comes back. It's enabled now. And LAN 4, as I told you that guys, we are not going to do anything on the LAN 4. That's why it's not activated. So go to the LAN 2 and change the IP address as we discussed. Okay, and also I want to change this IP address also guys, right? So I don't want to use the 10, I want to change it to 11. So this is my 11.1 and I want to start from 11.21 and 11.1. Say OK, click OK. So it's asking, do you want to reboot the router? Yes. Or you can say that cancel it and you can reboot it later, but I want to reboot it now. Say OK. So it's going to take some time guys. So meanwhile I just continues the ping with 11.1. Okay guys, so enter. So once the router has come back, then I can able to access my router. Yes, it come back guys. So let's go to the 11.1 and type the username as admin, password as admin, say enter. Click OK now. So just move back to the LAN, click on general setup. So I just want to increase the font so that you guys can see properly. So now I want to change the subnet which is LAN 2. Click on the details page. So now I want to use it for 12.1 and I want to change the IP address from 12. In this network maybe I want to start with 31 guys. Okay. Then I want 100 IP addresses here. That's fine for me. Then 12.1. Then here I want to give you same 4.2.2. Then 8.8.4.4. So this is my DNS servers. Then you can click OK, say OK. I don't want to do any changes now. So let's move back to VLAN. You can see here, go to the general setup, I'm sorry, then move back to the details page, because I want to reboot at the last, that's why I don't want to do it at the moment. And you can see here 13.1, and I want to change here 13.100, I want to start. Then I just need 50 IP addresses here. Then I want to put it back 13.1, and again same that I want to use it. Then say OK, click OK. Now I want to reboot it, guys. So in case if you don't want to reboot every time, you can simply say cancel. Then whatever configurations you want to do it, you can do it. Then finally, once you complete everything, you can reboot the router. Say OK. So now it's rebooting now. So wait for a few seconds. Meanwhile, I'm going to pause this video. So alright, it's come back, guys. Let's just refresh it now. Yes, I'm going to log in with admin and admin. Now you guys can see here. Let's go to the LAN, click on general setup. You can able to see here LAN 1, LAN 2 and LAN 3. So that's the beauty of this one, guys. So now for the testing purpose, what I'm going to do now, let's open my command prompt and you can just type here ipconfig. Then you can see what's the IP address you got it. Okay, guys. So the IP address which I got it 192.168.11.21. So which means right now I have connected on port number 1. So this is the one, guys. So the LAN 1 is belongs to port number 1. LAN 2 is belongs to port number 2. LAN 3 is belongs to port number 3. Right, guys? And also one more interesting thing is that I didn't configure any kind of NAT, nothing. So let's go and check that what exactly it's going to work. So now I want to test that whether I can able to access the internet or not. How can I check that? Ping 4.2.2. See, I'm getting internet access. I don't have any problem. So I want to open the DrayTek website, www.draytek.com. Okay, guys. So let's go and review some products. So I can able to access the internet. So I don't have any problem, guys. Internet is accessing properly without any issues. Okay. And also here, go to the diagnostics and you can check the DHCP table. Okay, guys. You can see here the IP address ranges for LAN 1. It's clearly defining everything, guys. For LAN 2, for LAN 3, everything is defining, guys. And also if you want to check the routing table, you can see the routing table. See, for LAN 1 192.168.11.0, for LAN 2 192.168.12.0, for LAN 3 192.168.13.0. So the moment when you connect to the internet, automatically the default route is injected. You see, guys. So that's the beauty of your DrayTek. So you don't need to do much configurations. It's very simple and straightforward. So now my PC is connected on port number 1. Right, guys? It belongs to LAN 1. So now what I will do, I just go and remove it and I'm going to connect it back to port number 2. Okay, guys, so that the ping is going to stop. Okay, then I want to ping 192.168.12.1. Okay, right now it's not pinging, guys. Let's go and do that. So let's take it out my cable and connect on port number 2. So I have connected now. So let's go and check it how much time is going to take. So I'm just waiting to come back. See, immediately it come back. So now I just want to stop this ping. Now I want to check whether I am getting internet or not. 4.2.2. Yes, I am getting internet. Then after that I just want to go here and I want to open some load balancer routers. Let's go and check it. Wow, the internet is there. So I didn't do anything, guys. See, I just configured the subnet as per my requirements. That's it. Now you can see I can able to access the internet. See, or in case if you want to know what IP address has picked, just open the command prompt again, type ipconfig. Then you can able to see here it has picked 192.168.12.31. Why? Because I have reserved from 12.1 to 12.30. That's why I'm getting this IP address. Okay, right now I am in LAN 2, which means I connected to P2. Okay, guys, now let's go and test it. 13 subnet ping 192.168.13.1-T. So now I'm going to remove my cable and I'm going to connect on port number 3. So right now you can see here there is no reply. So let's go and connect it. So I have connected now. I disconnected and I have connected on port number 3 my laptop directly. So let's see here. Okay. So let's wait for a few seconds, guys. Yes, now I'm getting a reply. Alright guys, then after that you can just type ping 4.2.2. I'm getting internet and type ipconfig. So I got the IP address which is 192.168.13.100. So 13.12, 13.199, 13.99, I'm sorry. So we resolved, that's why we got the IP address from 13.100. So now let's go to the DrayTek website and try to browse something. So this time I just want to go to the DrayTek FTP. So click on the DrayTek FTP and you can see here the FTP is opened successfully. So in case if you want to download any firmware or anything, just click on that. You can able to download it. And if I want to see the solutions which is going to offered by DrayTek, so just go to the VPN matcher. So there you can see here I can able to access it. So that's the beauty of your DrayTek, guys. So far what I did, I just kept each and every port into the different LAN. So now you can see here I am not able to access my DrayTek router. What could be the reason? Because I don't have a interLAN communications, guys. So once if you enable the interLAN communication, then you can able to access from one LAN to another LAN. Right now I am in LAN 3. That's why I'm not able to access. So to access your DrayTek router, you need to change the IP address as 13.1. So now you can see here I am able to access now. Let's zoom in, guys. So admin. Now I can able to access it. I hope you guys are clear. And also you can see here, so I have connected with port number 3, but why it's showing port number 3 is 10 by 100, because my laptop is supporting only 100 Mbps. That's the reason I can see it's a Ethernet port, fast Ethernet port. Okay guys. So right now if I want to know the routing table, you can just go here and click on the routing table. You can able to see it. Or in case if you want to see the DHCP table, you can able to see it here and which IP address has picked. So you can get the complete information about your DrayTek route, guys. Especially the diagnostics page is very interesting and very important for troubleshooting. Yeah, let's just go back and click on the overview what we discussed so far. So let's go here. So far we discussed about, we have configured multiple subnets and we shifted the ports. Okay guys, this is what I'm trying to say. The port number 1 we kept into LAN 1 subnet. Port number 2 we kept into LAN 2 subnet. Port number 3 we kept into LAN 3 subnet. Okay guys, and port number 1 we changed the subnet as 192.168.11.0 and port number 2 we change 192.168.12.0. Port number 3 we change 192.168.13.0. So we have configured each and every subnet into the different port. Okay guys, that's what we did it. So as I discussed earlier, so port number 1 you kept into VLAN number 11. Port number 2 you can kept into VLAN number 12. Port number 3 you can keep into VLAN number 30. And the DHCP and DNS we have configured inside your DrayTek router. And port number 4 anyway we have connected to the internet. That's it guys. You no need to do any kind of NATing, you no need to worry about routing. So everything is automatic. Just change the IP addresses and subnets and the ports as per your requirement. So this is what the complete overview that we discussed, and this is, we can call it as a port based VLAN, so that each and every port you are going to keep into the different VLAN. That's called port based. And in case if you have any requirement related to the sales, please send us an email, sales@datavoice.com. If you need any technical support, you can send us an email, support@datavoice.com. I hope this has been informative, and I would like to thank you for viewing.